When you look at 2022's top fantasy wide receivers, you see a lot of familiar names. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, but then you see a couple names that weren't really expected to be there, like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Devonta Smith. And if you drafted either of these guys in the middle parts of your drafts, chances are they helped you bring home a fantasy title. So what was it about these players that savvy drafters saw, and how can we use that to our advantage this year? Well, that's what I'm going to break down in this video. I'm going to talk about what these wide receivers have in common. I'm going to talk about some wide receivers who have that potential this year, their pros, their cons, and then of course at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my number one pick for the guy I think will be either Amon-Ra St. Brown or Devonta Smith in 2023. So what was it about Devonta Smith and Amon-Ra St. Brown last year that people saw the upside in them? Well, first of all, they were second-year wide receivers who both had very good rookie campaigns. Amon-Ra St. Brown obviously had a great second half of the season, and Devonta Smith was much better in year one than people thought. So we're going to be trying to identify some second-year wide receivers who have the potential to make that massive leap in 2023 and become fantasy wide receiver ones. So to start, we need to figure out who are this year's second-year wide receivers. Now, I'm not going to list every single second-year wide receiver. I'm just going to cover the ones that are mostly fantasy relevant. So we have Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Christian Watson, Drake London, Treylon Burks, George Pickens, Jahan Dotson, Jameson Williams, Sky Moore, Romeo Doubs, and Alec Pierce. Now, I'm going to instantly cross off Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. Not that I don't think those guys will be great. They will be great this year, but they're already being drafted as if they're going to be great. And I know this is going to cause a lot of you anger. Go ahead, drop your comment down below and tell me I'm an idiot, but I'm crossing off Jameson Williams. The guy is missing the first 6 weeks. It's highly unlikely from week 7 to 17 he's going to finish as a top 10 wide receiver, so he is off the list. And then sadly, I also have to cross off Sky Moore. He didn't do enough as a first-year player to make me feel like he could make that massive leap in year 2. I think he could get better, but not top 10, top 12 better. Same with Romeo Doubs. He was okay as a rookie, but not a guy you feel good can make that massive leap. Plus, is he really going to have enough of a target share to get the targets we need? Probably not. And then finally, I'm also going to cross off Alec Pierce. Even though I do really like him, I think Alec Pierce is going to have some big games, some big moments. I don't see him getting enough of a target share and being consistent enough in this offense to be a top 12 or a top 10 wide receiver. So that now leaves us with 5 players. Let's go over the pros and cons of each one of these players. And then, of course, as promised, I will give you my pick. So Christian Watson, what are the pros? Well, this guy's got incredible weekly upside. We saw last year he can take any play to the house. He's a home run waiting to happen. He also has freakish athleticism, size, speed, just an athletic freak. What are the cons? Well, he's probably going to get a downgrade at QB. And even though I do kind of like Jordan Love, he's not Aaron Rodgers. Also, he's far from a complete wide receiver. He certainly has holes in this game, and that may prevent him from taking the next massive leap that we need. Drake London, the pros here, he is a great wide receiver already, can do it all, a real wide receiver technician, also has very little competition for targets in this offense. What are the cons? Well, he might have really bad QB play with Desmond Ridder if Desmond Ridder can't get better. Also, this is probably going to be a low volume passing offense. Treylon Burks, what are the pros? This guy is also a big play waiting to happen, a downfield threat on every single snap. Also, very little competition for targets in this Tennessee offense. What are the cons? Kind of like Drake London. Probably going to have poor quarterback play, whether it's Ryan Tannehill, Will Levis, whoever it is. Probably not going to have the best quarterback play. And also very low volume passing offense. Now George Pickens, who a lot of people really like this year. The pros, another guy who is just a big play threat, highlight reel type of wide receiver. And like Christian Watson, he's a big, freakish wide receiver with tremendous ability. What are the cons? Well, he has holes in his games that could prevent a big target share and that could hold him back. Also, I don't feel like his QB really matches his skill set the way we would like. And then finally, Jahan Dotson, the pros. He's a truly elite route runner, can run the entire route tree, get separation up and down the route tree. He's also a fantastic contested catch wide receiver. What are the cons? Well, he also has question marks at QB with Sam Howell. Can Sam Howell be that guy? And unlike some of the other guys, he has lots of competition for targets. Terry McLaurin is still there. Curtis Samuel is still there. Gibson out of the backfield. Can he see a big enough target share to make the leap that we are looking for? All right, so now that I've broken down the pros and cons of each of our candidates, it's time to give you my pick. But first, I want you to go down below, drop a comment, and give me your pick. Who do you think will be this year's massive second-year breakout? And also, I need to remind you, flockfantasy.com/endgame is where you need to be this year for fantasy. Whether you play Dynasty or Redraft, we are going to be having leagues with cash prizes for all of our flockfantasy.com/endgame members. Not to mention, you get instant access into our mock drafts. Plus, you get our articles, videos, rankings, our in-season live streams to help you win and crush your leagues. Flockfantasy.com/endgame, 30% off any subscription now. Check it out. If you play fantasy, you need to be there. All right, I've held on you long enough. Time to give you my pick. I really like all of these guys, and I'd love it if all of these guys smash this year. And I think they're all going to be very good, and I think they're all going to make second-year leaps to some degree. But the one who I think is going to make the biggest leap, and who I could see being a wide receiver 1 by the end of the season, is Drake London. And I know, just got a ton of groans from everybody out there. Oh, Desmond Ridder, oh, the offense. I get it. But remember last year, nobody thought Jalen Hurts could support A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith as wide receiver 1s. Nobody thought Jared Goff could support a wide receiver 1, and here we are. The good thing about Drake London is his only real competition is Kyle Pitts. That's it. He should get a massive target share. They're going to throw the ball more than they did last year. No, they're not going to be one of the top passing teams, but if they get close to 30 or just over 30 pass attempts a game, he'll have enough of a target share. As long as Desmond Ridder gets most of those targets on target, Drake London should be great. He's an absolute stud. I think Drake London makes a massive year 2 leap and becomes a wide receiver 1 in fantasy in 2023. Now that you know who this year's secret wide receiver 1 is, you probably want to know who this year's Josh Jacobs will be, don't you?